everyone, I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa. We are Gen X women who grew up on a steady diet of Love Boat and Charlie's Angels. We love TV and we love K-dramas.
This month, as we always do every month, we are keeping you updated on the latest happenings in K-drama casting and news.
And this month, we're deep diving SOOMPI'S 2024 master list of rom-coms. Did you know there were over 50? I did not watch over 50 rom-coms.
No, over 50 rom-coms. I can't wait to dive into this list because it's beefy and weird. I'm super excited. But first, we are starting with what everyone's currently obsessed with, in case you're looking for some fun recommendations. All right, you guys, everyone's obsessed. And I think in our last one, Marisa, I feel like the two dramas that everyone was really excited about were My Dearest Nemesis and Undercover High School. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. It's a little quieter right now, but these two dramas and possibly a third one that just started seem to be making everybody very happy.
Now, in our last live, Marisa, you said you had not started My Dearest Nemesis. Have you started it since then?
I have started it. I really love Moon Ga-young, like a lot. She's so beautiful, but she's got really great comedy skills.
Oh, such good comedy skills.
Right? And I think the first thing I saw her in was came out 10 years ago. It was EXO Next Door.
Oh my gosh.
It was this, we're going to highlight our, SM Entertainment is going to highlight our K-pop band with like a web series. But Dio was in it. Yeah. And that was like, oh, this kid can act. And Moon Ga-young was only 19 at the time. Wow. Yeah. So she's really been, she's a very experienced young actress, because my issue with this show was the age difference.
Yes.
Because in real life, she's 28. And in real life, our lead guy, I can't remember his name right now.
Ji Hoon.
Yeah, he's like 23. He's the exact same age as my daughter. So that was weirding me out. But which is why I love the second couple.
The second couple is amazing, and I love them so much. So much. Yeah. I'm really enjoying this one just because it is, I think, everything you want in a rom-com. It's sweet and it's funny and the acting is good. Chae-wook is also very good at comedy. He is our guy from Twinkling Watermelon. He was also in 2521, where we fell in love with him. He also shows up in Weak Hero Class 1. He kind of brings the comedy relief there. He's just super, super good at comedy. And so these two together as a comedy duo, for me, is just so good. And maybe I do not have a child that is the same age, so I can separate that a little bit more for their relationship. But I love the fact that she supports him in his hobbies, and it's so lovely. And their journey towards this relationship is just so satisfying for me. And we're now to episode 8, so we just got over the halfway mark hump. And it's just, I was like a 15-year-old squeeing. I was so happy with these past episodes. So this one definitely is an obsession for me, because if it can stick the landing, it's got 4 more episodes. If it does not derail with these last 4 episodes, it could be one of my top ones for 2025, for sure. For sure.
It's only March. That's a bold claim.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, just from a pure joy and like enjoyment, like I would rewatch this again, kind of a thing. I've been really enjoying it.
Well, I feel that we've seen this drama, this chaebol, this hardworking young woman over and over and over again. So their chemistry and the cleverness of the script is top notch, because otherwise it's like, oh, I've seen this before. It's not that interesting. But there's a reason why everyone's obsessed with this drama. And
Exactly.
It's really, the two leads. And I think our second couple too, Im Se-mi and Kwak Si-young as adults.
As adults doing adult things in episode 1, and I was so happy. And then you were going to be so happy by episode 8, because usually sometimes they kind of drop the ball on the second couple, but by the end of episode 8, I was like, I love them. I love both our couples so much. Like, seriously obsessed. Seriously obsessed. And yes, just to back up a little bit, like, yes, it is the same chaebol, girl working in his office, but I think the difference, again, goes back to that age difference. He's young for a reason. We're not supposed to just believe he's just this badass chaebol in the middle of this, conglomerate just because of birth. He's, there's a reason for him being that young. It's not just we're just supposed to accept it. So I really like that. I also like that he's got this hidden life that is very childish. And so I'm really enjoying those little tweaks on it. So
I have to say, this Korean version of Faster Pussycat is just, or Poison, or
God, I love it so much.
Make me laugh so much.
Oh my God. And the joy he gets from it. And then Grandma, the worst, truly one of the worst characters ever. And I can't wait for, she needs to get hers. She makes me so angry every week. She's just so awful. All right, and then the other one that everyone's obsessed with is Undercover High School, which is So Kang-joon's return. His return drama after military service. And if you guys were paying attention to my squeeing for the past month, that was my most top pick, and I was so worried it was going to be terrible. But I really enjoyed it. And I said this in the live, like, I really, really am enjoying it. I think you are too as well, Marisa, right?
Yeah, completely. And I looked it up. He got out of the military in May 2023.
Oh, wow.
Right? That was a long time ago, especially in, the K-drama industry, where there is such pressure on, like, for choosing that project as soon as you're out. Like, a lot of times they're leaving the military and walking right onto a set, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he took his time, and it paid off, because this role showcases every single facet of him as a man, as an actor, as a singer, dancer, model, like all of it.
All of it. There is not one facet that they are leaving behind. They will cover it all. And I think heading into the last back half now, we're now going to see his leading man rom-com skills come into play. It's just everything, Marisa. They've got everything for him in this one. I mean, I was even watching an interview, and they were like one of the Vicky things where they were talking to So Kang-joon and Jin Ki-joo. And they were asking them questions like, give us one word of what Undercover High School is. And they're like, horror, action. And Jin Ki-joo is like, Sung Kang-joon, one-man show. It's just like, even she knows she's just there to, like, as much as we adore her, she is amazing. Again, also very good with the comedy. Really enjoy what she brings to the role. But she knows she's there to help showcase So Kang-joon in this one, for sure.
That's exactly it. I mean, that's my one fault with the show. Is like, I wish there was more of them together, because it is so clearly a So Kang-joon showcase.
Yeah. But I have enjoyed his relationships within the show. Like, as much as it is a showcase of him, they also have given us quite solid relationships with his team. His team is amazing and hilarious, and I love them with, like, every fiber of my being. I think the Jin Ki-joo character does have some layers to her, so I am enjoying that. And I also appreciate the fact that while they've been playing this weird OST every time she looks at him, like she's madly in love with him, even though he's a high school student, theoretically to her, it's a little bit weirding me out. I do appreciate that, A, she knows it's wrong and weird, and B, when she does finally figure out that he's not a student, it's not like instant love. Like, there is this there's a couple of episodes where she obviously is, like, kind of figuring it out because she did have a crush on him to begin with. But I do appreciate the fact that they're not, like, giving us this insta-love thing, which they sometimes do in K-dramas. So I would say that those are the things that I'm really enjoying about it.
Yeah, I also want to give like a mention to the actresses playing one of the other teachers slash fashion photographer. So it's Lee Min-ji, and she had a very funny bit part in Confidential Assignment 2 with Hyunbin and Daniel Hannah, and she is a funny woman. So I am enjoying seeing her in this.
Yeah, the supporting cast is amazing in this one, for sure. It's really good. So definitely there's a reason why we're obsessed with these two, because they're just at the end of the day, they're a lot of fun, and I think that's what I personally am looking for in my K-drama viewing right now. It is fun or completely not realistic. I think those are kind of the two elements. If it's too real, I'm like, I can't deal with it.
You know, that's what it is. Cause like I didn't think I had room for another like NIS agent going undercover in high school. Like I didn't think I had room for that. But there's just the right amount of ridiculousness that it is making me laugh so much every week. I mean, the fact that like his team is going undercover, basically running a Quiznos.
Quiznos.
Like do they have time to actually like look into all of the other teachers that are there or figure out that this student I mean like no, because they're making sandwiches.
I was gonna say, not during the lunch rush, Marisa. Not during the lunch rush. Can't do anything then.
Right. So it's just like the right amount of what am I watching? That is that perfect kind of K-drama equation.
Yeah. Oh my God. 1000%. And over at Soompi, they always come out with these most buzzworthy dramas and actor rankings. And Undercover High School is #1, and My Dearest Nemesis is #3. So I'm happy to see both of them on the list. And then Buried Hearts is in there. I wouldn't call it Everyone's Obsessed, but we are we are watching that over on our live. So if you want to hear us chat about that, join us on Sunday. We do every other Sunday we do a live chat about our full watch list, and then you can hear what everybody's talking about that. But then So Kang-joon is taking the #1 spot for actor ranking. So
yeah,
he's keeping it going. Nice work. Yeah. And then one that I'm just seeing a lot of chatter about, I'm not watching it. It looks a little too intense for me. But When Life Gives You Tangerines with Park Bo-gum and IU is getting a lot of chatter on the socials. I don't know if you're watching it, Marisa.
I have not started watching it yet, but Vicky has acquired Moon Lover's Scarlet Heart Rio, which, and we'll be talking about this in a second, it's 20 episodes at a time when we seem to be getting used to 12 episodes. So this might be my March hobby, like putting away my knitting, putting away like that book I was reading. I think it might be Lee Jung-gi and IU and
right,
and like 18 other young. Oh my goodness, this drama! I'm amazed it's back. I can't wait.
Right? And I feel like we're going into it. We're going into it with our expectations being low because we already know all the trauma that people have experienced watching this. We've already absorbed it all. So I feel like
have you not watched it?
I have not. I've never seen it. It's my first
time. Oh, I watched it. Like,
did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is my maiden voyage on Moon Lovers, y'all.
Oh my goodness. Well, I watched it like in 2017.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've forgotten most of it. This is going to be weird and wild.
Can't wait. Oh, so anyway, there you go, you guys. A couple of recommendations if you're looking for some fun stuff, if you're looking for a little drama, a couple of those there as well. I'm always super excited when I see casting updates because it's like, oh, that pairing. Oh, I always like we always have our responses to it. The one, there's quite a few this month that we have that I am like, wow. So SON YE JIN, CHANG WOOK, and Nana in a Dangerous Liaisons remake.
Oh my God.
This
is like going to be the so mellow, drama-ist, mellow romance. Oh my goodness.
I'm so excited. From what I understand from the reporting I've seen so far, it's based on Dangerous Liaisons, but it's technically a drama remake of the 2003 South Korean film Untold Scandal, which was based on Dangerous Liaisons. So it's kind of a remake of a remake, but with the same basic setup. And so it reimagined the story in the Chosun era, centering on a seductive game of love between the infamous temptress Lady Cho, who is going to be SON YE JIN, the notorious playboy Cho Won, which is going to be Ji Chang Wook, and the virtuous widow Madam Suk, who they attempt to corrupt, who is going to be Nana.
Holy moly. Holy moly.
I cannot wait. The filming for this is expected to begin between late March and early April, so we're not sure when it's going to land, but holy bejesus, that is one that is going to be spicy. Oh my God. Just Son Ye Jin and Chang Wook like bantering about how they're going to corrupt Nana is just so good and juicy. I cannot wait. Cannot.
I cannot even imagine this. Like, the casting director needs a raise because this is just phenomenal casting. Like, we have been waiting for Chang Wook to like, we've been waiting to be obsessed over him again because those last couple of kind of crime dramas, mob thug guys haven't I mean, were great, but there is so much more to him that I'm like at a this is a podcast. I should not be at a loss for words, but
no,
I can
totally understand a Chang Wook Son Ye Jin pairing where they're the evil machinations behind the scenes is so freaking delicious. Like, there are no words and there's all the words, right? Like, it's just like
oh my god, amazing.
Right? It's so amazing. I can't wait. The other cast that is so stacked, like, I don't even know. Like, it's just, who's the first couple? Who's the second couple? It is SHIN MINAH, Lee Jung-suk, JI HOON, and now they're adding Lee Se-young. What is this? Called The Remarried Empress. It is based on the popular web novel of the same name, The Remarried Empress. It's a fantasy romance that tells the story of Navier, the perfect empress of the Eastern Empire. When her husband, the emperor of the Eastern Empire, cheats on her and divorces her, she gets married to Henry, the emperor of the Western Empire. Lee Se-young has reportedly been offered the role of a runaway slave whom the husband unexpectedly discovers during a hunt soon after entering the palace and becomes the husband's mistress. It's too much goodness, Marisa. It's too much.
So this is like a fantasy era. So do we know if this is like period or if this is like modern day?
It's a fantasy romance, so my guess it's going to be kind of a hodgepodge of stuff.
Quasi Joseph.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a quasi, historical kind of a thing is how I'm reading it.
Because this already feels like a rich tapestry of relationships, and you've got 4 stellar actors. Like, if you place this in some sort of fantasy land with the costumes and the hair and the hairpins, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I know.
And Lee Jung-suk, where have you been lately?
Right?
I mean, yeah.
Right? So I'm just like, who are we rooting for here? Who's our first couple? Who's our second couple? Do we have couples? Is it just a big quadrangle of things happening? Like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm like, these casts and these casting updates are just so good and beefy. I'm so excited about it.
Oh my goodness.
And then one that just because there's one that popped up and I was like, interesting. Not really wowed by it, but I'm intrigued by it, Marisa. It is Nam Ji Hyun and Moon Sang-min in a historical drama. I mean, obviously Nam Ji Hyun, who we've seen in all sorts of things. She was in Little Women. She was in 3-6 Repeat the Year.
I think the last time she did a period piece was 100 Days My Prince.
That's right. I loved her in that.
Right. Speaking of Dio from EXO, we love them together. She was spunky and she was poor, but she she was full of fizzy sass. She was great. We really loved her in that. So Moon Sang-min, he's not usually a lead, is he?
Well, he just was in Cinderella After 2 a.m. and I really enjoyed him in that. But again, I think it was because of the kind of turning the whole trope on its head that I really enjoyed about it. I'm not sure him standing alone is what I really enjoyed. So I'm curious. I think she might just bowl him over is my biggest concern.
You're right. I confused him with somebody else, but he's young. And he kind of out of nowhere became a male lead. So he's done a couple of these big roles now. So we'll see. Yeah.
So yeah, that one just kind of intrigued me because I'm like, that's an interesting matchup. So I'm kind of intrigued by that, but nowhere near the other 2 big ones because please. Oh my gosh. I'm like, that's going to be required viewing, y'all. Required. I can't wait. All right, guys, let's move on to some news. Unfortunately, the biggest story in the last month is definitely this Kim Soo Hyun scandal that imploded in the last few days.
So we are recording this on March 12th. And I mentioned that because, as with many scandals, the first days are more social media chaos than actual facts. And so we don't want to comment until charges are officially filed. But it doesn't mean we don't have thoughts.
Right. And we also want to be the place where you guys can come and kind of get the data without all of the chaos of social media, right? So we want to just kind of give you what the basics are as we know them as of today. So, and also note, please, that Kim Soo Hyun's agency has strongly refuted all claims.
The YouTube channel Gara Sero Institute published a video with claims that Kim Soo Hyun dated Kim Se-ron for over 6 years, starting when she was 15, which begs the question, who is Gara Sero Institute? And my understanding is that they are a YouTube channel with a history of putting out controversial stories and having lawsuits filed against them. But they are run by former NBC journalists. But from what I understand, there's kind of a rotating list of journalists who run this channel.
And just to be, I mean, we all know YouTube, you can put anything on YouTube. It doesn't have to be factual. That's the sad, sad truth of all of this. And that's why I think we just kind of want to say what has been reported and whether we don't know whether it's true or not. So we're waiting on that. The channel does claim to have photo and written evidence from her family. There is also this one text message from Kim Se-ron to Kim Soo Hyun sent days before her death regarding a lawsuit he filed against her 700 million won, which is a lot of money that he was suing her for.
So, as we know, Kim Se-ron took her life, and she died on Kim Soo Hyun's birthday, which was February 16th, which has fueled a lot of speculation. And for some people, they consider that evidence, a comment. And for others, there are other interpretations of that.
And I think like with everything, we've seen so many of these scandals come through and everything gets just really a lot of volume and a lot of noise. And then we find out months later or weeks later that maybe it wasn't as accurate as we originally thought. So we just kind of want to give you guys, because a lot of people have been asking us on our socials, what is going on? Like, what is happening? So we just kind of wanted to lay out what we kind of distill down what the basic facts, quote unquote, are as of right now. And that if you want to go ahead and dive deeper, we'll go ahead and link the Korea Times article that we referenced to kind of just get this timeline down, if you want to go ahead and dive in further.
I do want to say that, you know, we are here as a safe place for you to express your love of K-dramas. And when a scandal like this hits, and a lot of us don't know what to believe and we don't know what's factual, I just want to say to please take care of yourself. These scandals and the people involved are mostly invested in inflicting pain on each other. And the collateral damage is that those of us who are fans are hurt. We admire these actors because they bring so much to our own lives. So it's natural, I think, to feel betrayed and bewildered by what's happening. So maybe this will work for you, maybe not. But what I've done is limit my exposure to this story on social media. I just find that the need to know more just feeds on itself until it just becomes this like kind of hurricane of information, and then you can't cut through what's true and what's not. And so we're still in the early days of this scandal, but I just want to say it's okay to detach for a little bit, because these are people these are actors, but they're real people. And Kim Se-ron was a young woman who is not here anymore to defend herself. So
yeah, I think that's a really important thing, that we have to remember that she's not here anymore to defend, to support, or deny any of these claims. So we have to be very careful with that piece of information on all of this as well. So, all right. There is something that's been going around the K-drama landscape, and you are not seeing things, y'all. K-dramas are trending towards shorter series. That 12-episode format that we keep seeing, that is something that is happening for sure. And per the Korea Times again, audiences do enjoy the faster pace and the shorter series, and it keeps the engagement higher. And I have to agree with that. Don't you, Marisa? I find that the 12-episode or the shorter episode dramas are the ones that we're like, that was so good. Because they're not like trying to drag it out.
I'm not sure I understand that in order to have a 16 episode drama that there has to be an invented serial killer that, like there's this whole other storyline, or he goes away to America for 3 years. Like this storyline that comes out of nowhere that extends the drama for another few episodes. And I don't know what's happening in screenwriting classes across Korea that a solid 16 episode is very rarely written that doesn't involve these hyperbole, like this like kind of out of nowhere weird storylines. So, but if that means that for some reason these writers are able to write a tighter, more focused 12 episodes, I'm totally all for that. Love it.
I think also we've talked about this before. The writing system for dramas in Korea is vastly different than the system here in like Hollywood. Hollywood, you have a writer's room. So you have a showrunner who's in charge of like the main story and being the person who has to keep all the balls in the air and make sure the story makes sense and kind of is the head writer. And then under them, they have a bunch of other writers who are contributing and writing and keeping the story going. So you have a whole team of writers to create whatever the series is, right? In Korea, there is one writer and they have assistants who do research, but they're not writers. They are kind of there to assist the one writer. So it's like this one person show. And so I think I do see that is, I don't know if it's a limitation or if it's just, I do find that they tend to, like you said, get lost in the weeds. Episode 14, like anywhere from episode like 12 to like 15, where they're just like, we know what the ending is and we aren't quite sure how we're going to get there. So we'll just go to America for a little while, and learn to knit or something like that. So it is very interesting, but I personally I've enjoyed the shorter ones because I feel like we get to the crux of the stories much faster. It does mean a loss of revenue because you're not having as many episodes. So this is probably going to fuel more multi-season dramas because it's just cheaper to do more seasons of the same drama than it is to create a brand new drama whole cloth.
And the thing is, when you have a budget for a show, it's amortized over the number of episodes. And so now you're going from 12 down from 16. That's like 4 less episodes, 4 less opportunities for PPL, for commercial time, for, I don't know how it works, I think, with the networks. But interesting. I wonder if it'll last.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think streaming in general, which is kind of what drove this whole thing, it's changing the entire ecosystem of television. And so I think it's just going to be really interesting to see where television as a global whole ends up in the next 5 to 10 years to see where we're at then. But yes, you're not making things up. They are getting shorter. It is true, for sure. And then finally, the other big piece of news that I thought was kind of fun, because everyone's like, is it really going to happen? I'm not going to believe it's going to happen until I see something. It's official, y'all. Signal 2 is officially happening. And the core 3 are coming back. You've got JI HOON, Kim Hae-soo, and Jo Jin-woong are all returning for the next season, and they've already dropped their first teaser. The radio is back on, y'all. It's back on.
When did this drama come out?
Oh, Lord. I mean, I feel like it was already a classic when we started. So that was 2017. So when was Signal? Let's see. Signal was 2016. Yeah.
This is pretty stunning that they've come back 9 years later to do season 2.
Right? But people have been clamoring for it since the end of season 1.
Well, I've got a list of dramas that I need the next season of, Kingdom being the top.
Right? I mean, listen, if she was going to write another season of anything, I was kind of hoping she was going to do season 3 of Kingdom. But maybe she's going to get Signal 2, get the Signal 2 fans satisfied, and then she'll move on to us. Hopefully. Right?
Yeah,
but yes,
maybe.
Get ready coming back to us in 2026. On to our deep dive. We are not doing just one actor, y'all. Oh, no. SOOMPI came out with the 50 rom-com dramas of 2024, a K-drama master list. And Marisa and I were like, we must discuss.
Yes, let's look at this list because I don't believe there were 50 rom-coms. And I know they've used that loosely for some of their,
Right?
for the definition. I think there's a disclaimer in there that's so a lot of these shows fit other genres. Rom-com
They do.
adjacent? I don't know.
It's so fun to just look at this list and be like, oh, watch, dropped, watch. Oh, love, that was a rom-com. Nope, no, I don't know. It's so fascinating. And then there's a bunch of like, obviously, weekenders here that we didn't even so much as pay attention to. The dramas might have started in 2023. As long as they ended or began in 2025 or 2024, it's on this list. It's a chronological order. Maurice and I are just going to go through the list and just give you kind of a recommendation or what our thoughts were on the ones that we watched. It'll be fun. It's going to be great. First one up, Good Day to Be a Dog. I really, really enjoyed this one. It had Cha-Eun, Park Gu-young, and it was Lee Hyun-woo as our bad guy. Did you watch this one, Marisa?
I did.
You did. I really enjoyed it, but the way they rolled it out, its airing schedule was such a colossal nightmare that it was next to impossible to get excited for it. It was like they rolled out the first 4 episodes, then there was like a break for the Olympics, then they rolled out a couple more episodes, and then there was like a break for a holiday. It was a catastrophic airing schedule that I think cost this one a fan base, in my opinion, but I really, really enjoyed it. And Cha-Eun and Park Gu-young were one of my favorite couples, for sure.
I would like to see them again in another rom-com.
Yes.
This was very cutesy and silly. She turns into a dog. I mean,
1,000%, 1,000%. But I think it would have been more enjoyable if we could have just kind of rolled through it instead of being like, we're gonna take a 3-week break, and then it was just bad. Yeah. But yes, I would love to see them in a more adult setting for sure, because their chemistry was popping.
Speaking of chemistry, my demon, Kim Yoo-jung and Song Kang, just before he went off to the military. 2 incredibly good-looking actors. I think it started really strong and then kind of tapered off, and I wonder if it would have benefited from being 12 instead of 16. But
see, making a case for the 12 episodes.
There we go. But there was a really great fantasy element to it, and she's the chaebol in this, and he plays the demon. Song Kang, I know, is polarizing. Yeah, I understand that, but I quite like him. So if you like him, you've probably already watched this.
Yeah, I did not. I'm not like anti Song Kang, but I'm not like he's one of my must watches. So I did not jump into that one. I did watch The Story of Park's Marriage Contract, though, and it was okay.
It was
12 episodes.
Just okay.
Yeah, it was. I think 16 would have been. I would have tapped out at 12. They had lovely chemistry, but it just kind of went nowhere. It had an idea and it just kind of stalled out. They were delightful, but it was overall just not, it wasn't very memorable to the point where I was like, oh, that was last year. So.
Yeah, like once they got through the novelty of the time travel, it kind of fell flat.
1,000%.
Up next is Welcome to Samdalri. Oh, Chang Wook. Oh, Shin Hae-sun. He tried. A lot of people loved it. It wasn't doing it for me. I'm not sure why.
I was right there with you. Like, I wanted to love it. It was one of those dramas where I love them both individually so much. I desperately wanted to love this one, and I couldn't. It did not. I finished it, I think. I feel like I finished it. It didn't do a lot for me.
I know. I think it was this great crew of friends that I didn't really get into. And then the whole reason why she left Seoul was just like, this scandal. And I don't know, it was like, it turned into All About Eve. Like she was...
Oh my God, that's right. Right.
Right.
I forgot about that. I was like, what is happening? I don't even know. And the sheer amount of soju they drank, I was just like, at one point, I was just like, you should all be dead from alcohol poisoning. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. So
yeah. So unfortunately, not
right.
No thumbs up from us on this one.
No, not that one. No. Like Flowers in the Sand. You watched that one, right, Marisa? Yes, you did.
Oh my gosh. I think I forgot last year that it was in 2024 because it started in 2023. Mm-hmm. But this was a really great small town wrestling and mystery and
Ooh.
romance drama, and it was so good, so good. Jang Dong-yoon was amazing. This was like Raging Bull. He committed to this role. He packed on the pounds. He played a wrestler who had kind of lost his winning streak in a town, in a family that revolves solely around wrestling. So there's that kind of Korean cultural touchstone that is fascinating, just kind of learning more about serum and how important it is, just kind of in Korean culture. I really enjoyed this one.
I remember you really enjoying that one.
It was a sweet romance with an undercover cop. Like, she was the worst undercover detective. But that was kind of funny too. So,
This one I remember because it kicked off 2024 for us and we lost our minds. Marry My Husband with Park Min-young and Na-nu. It was so spicy and delicious, right? And
it
was mean. Like, I think that's part of what I enjoyed about it. Like, it wasn't trying to be all sunshine and flowers. It was mean and vicious. But by God, she was getting a happy ending the second time. And I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah. The way she exacted her revenge on her husband and his mistress, man, the claws were out.
Right? And the chemistry between Park Min-young and Na-nu, I mean, that one, I really enjoyed that one. That one was a lot of fun, for sure.
Yeah, it was sweet.
That one.
It was sweet and kind of, what's the word? It was like kind of emotionally violent in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, this is more single white female than All About Eve, but her best friend, Rumi, Sung Han-yoon, who played maniacal nut job to the teeth, she kind of brought that kind of violence to almost every interaction she had with everybody, right?
Yeah. I will say it lost its way a little bit around 13, 14, somewhere around there.
Yep.
But overall,
yeah. But again, 16 episodes, as we discussed earlier. It's kind of like that 12, 13, 14 episodes. You're like, we don't know how to get to the ending, so we'll just do this for a little while. Yeah, it did suffer from that. But overall, I thought it was pretty fun overall.
And next is one that you really liked, right? Night Flower?
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed this. Now, again, I really enjoyed it, but I did not think it warranted all the awards it got. It was fun, and I thought it was, it was Honey Lee and Lee Jung-won. She's a widow, and he is a magistrate, and they become like kind of not partners per se, but they end up helping each other on cases, and they had a nice chemistry, and it was a very lovely, it was a lot of feminist kind of ideas, and I really enjoyed the girl power of it all. And I mean, listen, Honey Lee just doing her stunts and just being a badass is just one of my favorite things to watch. By all means, I think she should win all awards. She's amazing. But it's also a role we've seen her play a few times. So I was really surprised of all the accolades that it got. But it was a lot of fun. And it was, again, it was easy breezy. It wasn't a lot of heavy lifting. And and I like a good historical. It had enough political machinations that it was quite enjoyable.
Great. And next on the list is... I guess we're just going to call it LTNS.
I forget what did LTNS stand for? I'm completely blanking on that.
I've forgotten too. It's not Long Time No See. It's
Long Time No Sex.
Long Time No Sex.
That's what it was.
Long Time No Sex.
Long Time No Sex. This one I had much higher hopes for than the execution. They had great chemistry. I really enjoyed it. I thought the setup was a lot of fun, but I feel like it just kind of got mired in all of the angst of their relationship.
Yeah, these are two really great actors and complex characters, but it didn't I liked it when it began, and then I think I lost it somewhere in there.
Isa and An Jae-hyun, fantastic chemistry, but again, it just kind of got I enjoyed the first couple of episodes, and then it just kind of got mired in the whole thing.
Right, except that I like it was a big swing and a miss, but I like that they took this big swing into in a more adult subject matter, more just more adult humor. So I did admire them for that. It just didn't quite work.
Totally agree with that. I don't think either of us watched Dr. Slump, did we?
No.
First
episode. Yeah, it didn't work. Don't know why.
Same for Queen of Divorce. I tried really hard. I really did. I like Kang Ki-young a lot. It
Right.
just did not work at all. I dropped that fast. Speaking of Moon Sang-min, Wedding Impossible. You watched that one and said it was, I remember you just being like, not happy.
I want so much for Jung So. And this was not it. I mean, it was a rom-com. She played an actor who's just doing like background stuff, and she's hustling, right? She's hustling, and then she runs, her best friend is gay, and so he's hiding it from his family, and then his younger brother Moon Sang-min falls for her, but it just did not quite work. Like what's supposed to be like kind of witty banter, like that kind of When Harry Met Sally kind of thing, just didn't really fly for me.
I remember you being disappointed.
I was definitely disappointed.
And then there was Queen of Tears. People loved this one in 2024.
How's this on a rom-com list?
I
guess there were parts of it that were rom-com. Yeah. It's more like she's dying of a tragic illness.
I was going to say, this one was dark. It was dark com if you're going comedy at all. I mean, it did not work for me. I really enjoy Kim Ji-won. I'm a huge fan of Park Sung-hoon, but he once again played the bad guy. And so it just... Park
Dong-young is in it too.
That's right, Park Dong-young. But people loved it. People still are like, this is the best drama of 2024. And I'm just like, sure, why not?
There were big expectations for this one, for sure.
The Midnight Studio, another one I tried because I love Kwon Na. Again, not a rom-com. I think I cried 3 times in the first 2 episodes, and that's why I was like, I gotta go. I gotta tap out, y'all. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Like crying, and you've already made me cry 3 times.
I needed more of the fantasy element and less of the emotional manipulation.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. I was like, if I'm crying this much, there's some shenanigans going on. I don't like it. The big one also for this 2024, Lovely Runner. This one, Marisa was not on Team Lovely Runner. Jen was. So I am with y'all on this one. I really enjoyed it. I thought it got a little, the time travel got a little timey-wimey. But at the end of the day, they had amazing chemistry. I enjoyed them as adults, like, so much. And I said this in our big wrap up we did. My favorite part about this is they gave us an entire finale episode of just pure joy and goodness and coupledom for them. It wasn't like the last 3 seconds of the show and you're like, and roll credits. It was a full hour of them being blissfully happy, and I could not have been happier. So it was definitely one of my favorites of 2024 for the rom-com, for sure.
And Byun Woo-suk just blew up. And I love that in this kind of weird meta twist moment, he performed the song at the Mama Awards. Right. Like the show became reality. What do we call that? Real to real. It was like,
right. Yeah. That's so crazy. And then Kim Hae-yoon, we have to give her a shout out. Like, she's been grinding it for years, and it was really nice to see her she's been in some popular ones, but she really this was a big, huge break for her. So I was happy to see that. Frankly speaking, I tried really hard and I could not. Did you even hit play on this one?
No, I didn't. Again, Kang Hana, who we love a lot, and Go Kyung Pyo, who is kind of quirky and awesome, but no, I didn't even hit play. Yeah,
I really wanted to like it more, but Joo Jung-hyuk was in it, and he was the second lead and her ex-boyfriend, and I was like, I want you two back together. I do not want this new relationship at all. So I really had a hard time. I had to tap out.
Oh well.
Atypical family.
Not a rom-com.
Cute.
It was a quirky time travel fantasy quasi supernatural show. And I thought Jang Ki-young was very good in it, and Chun Woo-hee as the daughter of scam artists I thought was fantastic. I do love her. Go Do Shim, who is an ajumma, but like kind of one of the top tier actors in Korea, and Claudia Kim, who started off in a fat suit, which always makes me nervous. Always makes me nervous.
Always.
But I thought it was pretty good. It did not end up on my favorites list, but it was quirky enough that I think for a lot of people it really was something different and pretty awesome. But I liked it, but I don't know. But definitely not a rom-com.
Yeah, definitely not a rom-com. I enjoyed it, but it didn't knock my socks off. It didn't it's not something, it wasn't like my top at all. Dreaming of a Freaking Fairytale.
I need this one.
I do the same. I don't know. It wasn't available when it aired originally, and I kept thinking that I thought I saw that it was coming to one of the streamers, and I kept reading so many good things about this one that I just really, really want to watch it. So if any of you guys know how we can watch this one, I really want to get it. It's Soo Hyun, who has come a long way in my life from me hating her with every fiber of my being from VIP.
That's right.
I couldn't even watch. I could barely watch her in Taxi Driver. I was so angry. And now I'm like, oh, I love her because I'm that weirdo. And Lee Jung. So I really want to watch this one, but yeah, we don't know how to get it, and it's only 10 episodes, so it should be a nice, quick, lovely binge. Here's one, Marisa, that you loved.
My Sweet Mobster was on my top list of 2024. So good. Taegu playing totally against type because he is always a thug, but this is a thug who's very much a sweetheart, who looked amazing in all these custom suits, my lord. And then Han Sun-hwa, who we don't see that much in K-dramas, but they've played together before. So this was really one of the sweetest K-dramas of the year.
Yeah, people really enjoyed it. And I remember when we were doing it, you were like, I am team My Sweet Mobster, and everybody else was like watching Lovely Runner, and you were Lovely like, nope.
Yep. Because they're grown-ups. They're like over 35 or even over 40, I think. So, yeah.
I mean, I really should have dove into this one, and I did not. I really probably should go back, but maybe one day. But one I did really enjoy was Miss Night and Day. And this was Jung Eun-ji, Lee Jung-eun, and Chae Jin-hyuk. And this was a 16 banger that really probably would have done better as a 12. It really did kind of lose its way towards the end where you're just like, what is happening? But Lee Jung-eun as the daytime version of Ji was just a highlight for me in 2024. She's a magnificent actor already. We already know that. But her doing like the comedy and the running around and like having a crush on Chae Jin-hyuk, oh my God, was just so good. I just loved it.
Serendipity's embrace. This was not as good as it could have been.
1000%.
Yeah, so Kim So Hyun, who I am growing to like, and Chae Jung Hyuk, who I always like. Oh, it was only 8 episodes. It was just a little flat.
I totally agree. It started off really strong, and then it just kind of petered out towards the end. But they had adorable chemistry, and I thought there was a lot of it was fun, and it was only 8 episodes, so it wasn't hard to get through. But I think if it had been any longer, I probably would not have made it.
Romance in the house.
Yeah.
This was fun.
It really was. It was more, I will say it was far more fun than I was expecting it to be. I think I hit play simply because I like Ji Jin-hee. And Son Ye Jin, I found it like I really enjoy her, but I don't know why. And I think you actually recommended it, said it was good, and I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. And I think I was bored, but I really did enjoy it far more than I expected to.
I think at the time, I could be wrong, but I think at the time there was no other kind of rom-comedy type show. So this definitely filled a void, and it was really enjoyable. And it was, Ji Jin-hee, like you could tell he was having fun.
You really could. You could tell he was having a great time. I really enjoyed the daughter and her relationship and how she kind of came into her own. It was a nice adult rom-com-y type thing for sure.
Yes. And then Love Next Door.
Oh, Love Next Door.
Jung Hae-in, Jung So-min. I think I dropped it.
I think I did too.
Yeah. I think there was a lot I really loved about it, and it seemed like a love letter to Korea with all of the ceramic pots and all of the, soy sauce and what do you call it? fermenting ceramics and stuff, but and lots of food. But there were just some really kind of out there story points that lost a lot of people pretty near the beginning of the show.
Yeah. It never quite gelled. Like you could see the potential, but for me, it just never quite gelled. So yeah, I did not go the distance on that one at all.
Their chemistry to me felt like brother sister more than a romantic couple. So.
I think because their bickering did come off as more brother sister than like the bickering did not seem sexually charged at all. It just seemed like they were gonna like, you know, throw each other in the pool or something. It was weird. It did not work for me.
Yeah.
One that did work for me though, and everyone laughed at me. But I don't care because I got an immense amount of joy out of it. Cinderella at 2 a.m. Again, Moon Sang-min and Shin Hyun-bin. And the reason I enjoyed it, and I've said this forever, is like it started where most dramas land at like episode 14. The show starts with her finding out that he's a chaebol and the mom pushing money across the table and wanting her to break up with him. And so we basically got 10 episodes of what usually they race through in like half hour. And it was really enjoyable. I thought they had some lovely conversations about, you know, relationships and like showing your true self. Was it exceptional? No, it was not. But the second couple was a lot of fun. And so there was a lot of things that really just brought it. It was just a lot of fun for me. I really enjoyed it. So if you're ever, it's only 10 episodes. So if you're ever looking just like nice, quick, rom-com-y, feel good binge, I highly recommend it.
I just have to say, he's very tall and very good looking.
He is that. For sure. Yes, he is.
Next on the list, No Gay, No Love.
Kim Young-dae gets so much crap of saying he's not a good actor, but I adore him. I think he's a nugget.
I liked him in this. And I liked Shin Minah so much. I thought sometimes she was a little dour. But overall, I really enjoyed this one.
I mean, and the setup is the arranged marriage and the whole thing. And I just thought they played off each other really well. And the setup was a lot of fun. I thought their chemistry was a lot of fun. It did kind of do some weird, dove head first in like serious makjang territory for like 2 episodes toward the end that I was just like, where did our fun, hilarious show go? But I think overall it was enjoyable. I enjoyed them quite a bit. And then Spice Up Our Love, the spinoff, which was Lee Sang-hee and Han Ji Hyun. Not spicy at all, just in case you're wondering. Not even a little bit.
You told me that and I didn't even bother.
Yeah, they teased us so bad. She is a like kind of a R-rated erotic webtoon writer, and she falls into one of her novels. And I was like, this is gonna be so fun. No, it was the least spicy thing I've ever seen for a spicy drama. I was very bummed out.
Okay, dramas.
Yeah, right.
Next is Family by Choice. Again, not a rom-com. This is a found family slice of life drama. Highly enjoyable. One of my favorites of the year. Not a rom-com. These are 3 young people who grew up together for various reasons. Some of them were abandoned by their parents.
That's hilarious. What do you mean, Marisa? That's comedy.
I know, right? So it's just like 3 young people who grew up together with 2 dads. And it's found family. They're growing up and experiencing, you know, what it is to kind of start recognizing the person next to you maybe is someone you're interested in. And then there's a big time jump and one of them becomes a doctor.
Excellent. I love it.
I know. And then one of them gets rich modeling in America, right? I mean, so that's a little comedy. It's like, but yeah. Highly recommend this one. Not a rom-com, but highly recommend it.
And then another non-rom-com on this list, but it's here because it's kind of funny, is Virtuous Business. These 4 women were fucking amazing. Kim So Hyun, Kim Sung Rang, Kim Sun Young, and Lee Se-hee. And then there's Yeon Woo Jin, the male love interest. And they were so much fun. And it was amazing watching these women in like 1980s South Korea trying to find their own way by selling sex toys. It was fantastic. And I really, really enjoyed the whole journey that we went with these 4 women. Was it a rom-com? It was not. It was funny. No. It had some funny moments, but it was not a rom-com. But super, super enjoyable.
except for the very end, because this was all about female empowerment. And then it took a twist at the end and kind of gave us the usual ending. But up until that point, it was really good.
I think I blocked that out until you just mentioned it, Marisa. I was like, I loved it so much. And then I'm like, wait a second. You are correct. It did. It was kind of like, oh, boo. Yeah. All right. And then I think around the same time we were fighting with that ending, we were getting Brewing Love, and I just could not. Did you even start it?
I could not get through the first half hour.
Yeah. I got through like 4 and I was just like, I cannot. It was so, I did love his meditation room though. So much. So much. I wanted his meditation room badly.
Again, not a rom-com. Mr. Plankton. Right? And listen, if
like this one is so far from a rom-com. Like you're just like, wait, what?
I'll just say, if you turn this on at the very beginning, it tells you how it's going to end. All right. So don't be surprised and disappointed because it was there at the beginning. Udo Hwan was so good in this. And Iyumi, spunky girl, their chemistry was fantastic. The bickering was great. Also, Gal is in this.
Oh,
her relationship with Udo Hwan was so unexpected. And turned out to be much more sentimental than you would initially think. But he was a tough kid. He was a tough kid that was abandoned, and she took him in because she's kind of a local, not mobster, kind of mobster. But somehow Iyumi gets mixed in there, and Oh Jung-se, she lied about who she was and that she was pregnant in order to marry Oh Jung-se, who's like the Martha Stewart of Korea.
I love
and
it.
You don't piss off Martha.
No, you do not. I watched that documentary.
So there was a lot of running around the countryside and it was really good. Again, not a rom-com, but a good drama.
Yeah, people enjoyed it, but yeah, I did not. Because like, the ending at the beginning. I'm like, no, not happening. That's not happening. I heeded your warning, Marisa. I heeded it. One that was a rom-com and I actually thoroughly enjoyed was Love Your Enemy. Ji Hoon, Jung Mi. We got so much Ji Hoon last year, and it was so nice to see him in a rom-com again, or just see him being like more cheeky than he usually is. Because a lot of times lately, Kingdom and Jerisan and Blood Free, like, and he's just so like fighting for his life all the time. But this one, I will say you got to give huge props to the two who played their younger version in this and their star-crossed lovers, like high school loves. They did a lot of heavy lifting at the beginning, a lot of the heavy lifting. But once you kind of cross over and get into like these two as adults, it actually became pretty delightful. And again, they were a lot of fun. Their chemistry wasn't as sparking as the younger version, but they were just so sweet. You just really were rooting for them. It was just a fun drama. It was a fun way to kind of wrap up the year. And that's the last one.
So 50 is, debatable.
Right? It was a lot of fun to go through that. Marisa, I don't know about you, but it was shocking some of those that they were only last year.
Right? Oh, yes. What is time?
Right? I'm suddenly becoming Matthew McConaughey, and I'm like, time is a flat circle. I have no idea what is happening. But yeah, there was some solid stuff happening last year.
And just to let you know, if you need more of our unfiltered opinions, if you are a member of the KThree, then you are going to get an extra podcast. And this month we are talking about the K-drama beauty standard and some of our favorite actresses who we don't see very much. Mm-hmm. And I suspect it's because they're over 40.
Oh no! So angry. That's why Virtuous Business was a highlight for us. Well, this was another fun month, Marisa. Thank you so much. Everyone out there who listens to us, if you guys could go ahead and give us a follow or a like and leave us a comment and let us know maybe some of the things you'd like us to deep dive on our next podcast. We will be back in April.
That's right. So until then, join us at our live chats every other Sunday on our YouTube channel, and we will see you then.
Bye.
Bye.